The word is gone forth. It is time to go forward. Double doors of opportunities will open as we advance to take new territories for the Lord. There will be a new passion for God and His dealings as we press deeper into Him. There will be productivity in every area of our lives, in businesses, in innovation, and in ministry. We will progress as we engage our communities and our world with the power and love of God. Families will not be left behind as we build legacies for the future. It is time to move. It is time for opportunities. It is time to do great things. 2020. Our time to advance.
Get ready for the Word of God as we welcome the Senior Pastor of Fruitful House, Reverend Albert Osai Acuna.
Today is unique because we're going to have such a wonderful conversation. How some people started from out of nowhere and where God has brought them. In the career path, sometimes it's difficult to find yourself starting, restarting, or having to dig again before you build. But there is hope because we're going to hear a story and possibly stories of people who have made it in life. I'd like to read something for you in the book of Esther. The book of Esther is one of my favorite books because of the story of the heroine whose name is called Esther. Esther has been brought from captivity into another land. And eventually, her story changed from a captive girl to a queen. And this is to encourage you to say that no matter where you started, God can place you where He wants to place you.
Amen.
So I read from the book of Esther, chapter 3. And let me look at my verse I'm looking for. Okay, I think I was looking for chapter 2. But the story says that then, chapter 2, verse 13, came a maiden unto the king, whosoever who desired was given her to go with her out of a house of women unto the king's house. In the evening, she went on. The morrow, she returned into the second house, and the women house of the woman to the custody of Shashgaz, the king's chamberlain, which kept the concubines. She came into the king no more, except the king delighted in her, and she were called by name. Now, when the turn of Esther, the daughter of Abihail, the uncle of Mordecai, who had taken her for his daughter, was come to go into the king, she required nothing but what Haggai, the king's chamberlain, the keeper of the women, appointed. And Esther obtained favor in the sight of all of them that looked upon her. Favor. The key word is favor. Esther obtained favor in a foreign land, in a land that nobody knew. It was a land that they were new there. And many of you watching me are immigrants. You have come from other places to wherever you are. Migration has become very important in our generation. Most people are migrating from one place to the other. And surely God has been good to some of us. Our story will be an encouragement to somebody. And today we have with us a woman who has a story, beautiful story. I'm talking of Florence Timming, all the way from Manchester, New Hampshire. And I'll tell you the story behind the story in the course of our interview. So let's welcome Mrs. Florence Timming, all the way from Goffstown, New Hampshire. It's very close to Manchester. Welcome, Florence.
Thank you, Pastor.
Okay, so Florence, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you?
Well, as you mentioned, my name is Florence Timming. I normally take my husband's middle name too, so Florence Timming, as usually called. I came to the United States in 1996, and precisely 10th March 1996, I came to the United States. I came here from
March
Ghana.
1996?
Correct.
So that will make it how many years now?
About 24.
24 years. Okay, so I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. That is, you know, she looks like me. Maybe she's my little sister. I don't know, possibly my younger sister. Actually, she's my big sister. There are stories behind the stories. When we were little and we used to go to school, she was the defender of the brethren. So if you have something to give or a blessing to give, she's the one you go give to, because she defended your pastor so much. I remember when I always will go and get into trouble, and then she would take off her school uniform and come and defend me, come and fight for me. Florence, do you remember those times?
I do. I certainly do.
Tell me some of the fights that I got you into.
Well, quite a few of them. I remember when you were in second grade, I was in third grade, and this guy came because he wanted to beat you up. So I just took the fight upon myself, and I really beat the guy up.
Of course. I mean, she used to fight like a man. She never fought like a girl. Like, she beat everybody up. And I'll be standing behind her, giving her moral support. You know, because I knew she would win the fight. And I remember the last fight was one ago.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yes, that one. That was one I mentioned. That was the one. Yes.
I think we fought in the fight took place. It was a fight of the century. It took place in front of
the whole school.
The whole school were there, giving us support. And I took your, you know, when she's going to fight, she takes off her school uniform. So I took it. She was left with a camisole and her underwear. That's all. In the midst of hundreds of students. And then the fight began. And within about 3 minutes, the boy was on the floor.
And the fight was over.
The fight was over. So the boy went home. Remember, he came back with a knife.
Yes, exactly. Yes, looking for me.
And that's where I got scared. I said, today my defender is gone. But we've been that close since we were kids. We talk almost every day.
Yeah.
I came to England, left her in Ghana, and she migrated with her family to Ghana in 1996.
To US. Yeah.
The US. Now, when you came to US, what work were you doing?
Well, when I came over, I was pregnant with my second child. So, and that was, I think I had 12 days when I came to the United States. So I stayed home for about 3 months, and I decided to look for a job. It was very interesting because I thought coming over here, so many jobs, it was easy to find a job, but it wasn't that easy. My auntie that I was with just advised me to be an LNA, that's licensed nursing assistant. I had no idea what it was, but I mean, I needed to do something, so I agreed to do it. I got a place that they were training the nursing assistants, and I was either to pay money or to work there for 3 months before getting into the class. I didn't have any money, so I didn't have a choice but to look for a job over there. So I decided to be a housekeeper.
When you
That
say
was-
housekeeper, what were you doing as a housekeeper? Like you
Um,
were the boss over the house?
okay, so it was a nursing home, 148. It used to be 150. I mean, now it's 148 beds facility. So I was sweeping the rooms, cleaning. So that's what I was doing. And I can tell you, it's one of the hardest jobs that I ever did. Why? Because I had to stand for 7.5 hours, which was my first time of doing such a job. So I commend every housekeeper because it's a very, very hard job. And I respect everyone who does that.
And so when you were in Ghana,
Yeah.
what did you do? What did you school in before you came to the United States?
So I did diploma in public administration, and I was working with this tour company. So I was touring tourists in Ghana. I mean, I toured almost every part in Ghana. It was one of the most interesting jobs. So that was what I was doing before I came to the United States.
Of course, you didn't stand on your feet for 7 hours. You just had fun moving all about, seeing the nation, visiting places, interesting places in Ghana.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you were doing a good job. But when you came to the United States, you did housekeeping.
Yes.
Did you enjoy it then?
Well, and honestly, I did not enjoy it because it was too hard. I just couldn't wait to go home every day. But I didn't have a choice. But it really taught me a lot. It really taught me a lot. That I mean, whatever the situation, you have to make use of the situation.
Okay. So after the housekeeping, what else did you do as for work? What was your career path? What did you do?
Okay, so so after the housekeeping, I had to do the housekeeping to get into the LNA job. So after 3 months, I got into to becoming the LNA. I went for the training a couple of weeks. I'm not sure, 8 weeks or so. Then I finished and became an LNA. Well, that wasn't easy either.
Yeah, there is a name that we call it here, LNA, and it's escaping me.
CNA, is that what you call it over there?
I think that's what. Well, I think something close to that.
Okay.
Yeah. But we have an equivalent here, also, where you train like a beginnerness. Yeah. So okay. So tell us about it.
So that one you watch the residents. I mean, it was very interesting. That one I really like it because I had the privilege of interacting with the residents. I mean, you feed them, you wash them, clean them. So that one was very interesting. As much as it was difficult, but it was more interesting than being the housekeeper. But it was also hard because I'd never done such hard work in my entire life. But that was a very good experience too. Yes.
Tell us something interesting that you found about this LNA, CNA thing.
It is very interesting and very rewarding because you are helping people. It brings a true nature, your true human nature. Somebody that you need to help. As I said, it's not very easy. It is a very difficult job, but very rewarding. You see these old men and women, and then you see how happy they are after you wash them, after you feed them. It was such a rewarding job. Just thinking about the fact that you helped someone.
So would you advise if somebody says, I want to help people, I want to help others, is this something you can advise somebody to take as a career path?
Yes, it is something I would definitely tell someone to, because it trains you too in life. You become very patient, especially if you're working with Alzheimer's. That was the first time I came into contact with Alzheimer's patients. You become very patient in life because you need that, and you become very understanding. You cannot yell at them, you cannot scream at them, because you shouldn't. And it teaches you. So you take it from work, you take it home. It controls your temper. It teaches you to move in a certain direction in life.
Wow. Well, so would you say if somebody has anger issues, that would be a good place for training?
Well, yeah, yes, and yes and no. Yes, if the person is willing to learn. No, if they are not willing to, that is not a place for them.
I see. All right. So, well, how long did it take you to train? And how long is it now to train for that program if somebody wants to be in that program?
It used to be, I think, 8 weeks or so, but now it's 5 weeks. 5 weeks. Yeah, you can train to be an LNA. Yes.
Awesome. So from being an LNA, what next? What did you do next?
So when I went, when I became an LNA, and then honestly, I still wanted to go back to school, continue with my public administration. So I was thinking of, well, going back, either becoming, going back to do public administration or health admin. But my husband advised me to go into nursing. If I tell you I liked that decision, I'm lying. I didn't like it because I didn't want to start from the scratch. I didn't want to start all over again. I just wanted to just take my transcripts, send it, and continue to do my master's or something of that sort. But because going back to become a nurse, I had to start from the scratch. But he gave me the rationale for his decision because of the children. We can rotate the shifts so that we can take care of the children. I agreed and I went into nursing. So I had to start from the scratch.
Wow. Start from the scratch.
Yes.
That's the word. But it reminds me of this, and I can say God is good. When we were kids,
Yes.
I don't know whether you remember the story. A prophet came to our house. We were living near the botanical gardens, and one prophet, Sago, and he came. Remember when he had fasted for 40 days? He was about to depart, and he prayed for us. And he brought some water and put his finger in, and the water started boiling.
I remember it vividly. Yes.
Exactly. And then he gave us the water to drink. You remember go peek and laugh at him, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Because he was fasting, we used to go and peek, look at the old man there.
Yeah.
And when he was going, he blessed us. He called us, told us to go bring water. He put his finger in, the water started boiling. And that's where I had started having the fear of God in me. And he told us to drink it. Do you remember the prophecy he gave to us?
Yes, I know. He said you were going to be a pastor. That one I remember.
And I hated him for that. I hated. And you remember what he said you were going to be?
Tell me.
He said you were going to be a nurse.
Yes.
And ironically, our younger sister who was there, he didn't prophesy over her. And now it makes sense. Like, I get it. But when she said I was going to be a pastor, remember, the whole family is full of pastors. And the level of, not having, I wanted to be my pilot. So that prophecy, remember, I think after the prophecy, we went to giggle about it because none of us believed it. You never wanted to be a nurse.
No, I did not want to.
I didn't want to be a pastor.
I did not want to be a nurse. Yep.
And I thought he was a false prophet, only that he had scared me with the water which is boiling.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to criticize him in his absence. May the Lord
I know.
Right. So that we were talking about this, you didn't like being the nurse thing, and it just came back to my mind, and I said, we have to share this. Right. So then after that.
So after that, I started my prerequisites, and then I wanted to go into
prerequisites?
Chemistry, math, biology, biochemistry.
Those were the subjects you didn't like: math, chemistry, biology. You didn't like any of those because you were an art student.
That's so true. Yep.
How did you manage those subjects?
Well, the thing is, whatever you set your mind onto, when you can do it. I mean, I realized that that's what I wanted to do, and for sure, I was able to do it. Yes, and as I was going to school full-time, I was working full-time.
So you were schooling full-time, working full-time. How long? What was the duration of that school and work combination? So
after the prerequisites, as I said, I wanted to get into the RN program, but the waiting period was 2 years. So I said to myself, there's no way I'm going to stay home for 2 years. So I went into the LPN program. I got into the LPN, and that was a year.
LPN here.
All right. Okay. So I got into it. So after the LPN.
How long did it take you to do the LPN?
A year and a half.
Okay.
So after
was it interesting? Did you like it?
Yes. So then when I got into it, I said to myself, "Oh, I guess I really want to be a nurse." So then, so then the interest just came, and so after the LPN.
Yeah. Did that change your position from being the housekeeper, or you were still the housekeeper when you were studying to become an LPN?
I was an LNA. I was an LNA at the time.
Okay, so whilst you were studying, you had already done the LNA, so you were working as an LNA.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Oh,
correct.
So then it took 1.5 years, then you graduated.
Yes, and I became an LPN. So after the LPN, I said to myself, well, I really want to become an RN. And the interesting thing is, just after the LPN, the administrator at that time made me a unit manager on one of the floors, which was just after school.
Manager after you did the LPN.
Yes, yeah, right after, yes, because she said I was hardworking. So right after my LPN, just about 3 months after my LPN, she gave me the position. So
What
I
position
worked
was
unit manager. I was overseeing a floor of 50 residents.
Oh,
Yes.
wow. What was
So
it? Day job, night job? Was it interesting? Did you have challenges? Weren't there RNs on there who thought you were not qualified to do it?
to be honest with you, I did not look around, like I do not look around me. I did not see the difficulties around me because my focus was to become the manager. That what I said was, I will do this job come what may. For them to give me that position, I will do it. So I did not see, I just overlooked the challenges. I jumped over the challenges. I did, a few, it wasn't, not even a year, and I decided to go for my RN. So I stepped down because I really wanted to continue with my RN. So I went back to school to do my RN. And after my RN, as soon as I was done with my RN, the administrator approached me again and told me to be the weekend supervisor. I
So how
took
long did it take you to do the RN?
a little bit over a year.
So let's
Yes,
say by roughly 3 years, you had moved from LPN to an RN.
Yes, and from 3 years, that was from LNA to an RN. Yes.
LNA, sorry, to an RN. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And then you said you had a promotion from there as well when you became an RN.
Yeah, so
RN means a registered nurse.
correct.
Okay.
Correct. So after the RN, I said to myself, that one, it was my husband again. After the RN, I said to my husband, I'm so done with school. I'm not going to school again. My husband said, continue with your bachelor's degree. I looked at him, I said, you don't know how hard this school thing is with working. And she said, you can do it. So I said, all right. So I was working weekend at that time, which was good. It was a good thing the Lord gave me the weekend supervisor position, because then I could go to school Monday to Friday. And it was the best. So I utilized that opportunity to go for my bachelor's. And then when I was done with my bachelor's, I told the administrator I didn't want to work weekends anymore because it was hindering my my Christian life, because I couldn't go to church on Sundays. Well,
I like that. So you didn't want to put anything in front of your faith.
Mm-hmm.
So you went back to say, I don't want to be a supervisor, a whole
Mm-hmm.
weekend supervisor.
Mm-hmm.
You had to step down
Mm-hmm.
so that you can go to church.
Correct.
How deep is your faith in God?
Well, I don't even know how to explain it to you, Pastor, because without God, I'm nothing. So if I put God aside, then I don't know where I'll be heading towards. So there is no way I can sacrifice my Christian life for anything.
Was your boss upset because you wanted to go to church?
No. So the interesting thing is, as soon as I said I couldn't do it because of my my Christian life, at that moment the educator was on medical leave, so she told me to take over that position. Everyone was shocked because they were wondering what was going to happen if she came back from the medical leave. So, but I know whom I believed. So I knew God had a purpose for me. I took it. It didn't matter whether it was 1 week, 1 month, but I took the position. I just said I was not going to work on weekends anymore. I have to go to church. So as I was in that position, not long before she came, the director of nursing at that moment resigned. So the assistant director went into that position, and I was given the assistant director's position.
As what?
The assistant director of nursing.
The assistant director of nursing.
Nursing.
Wow. So you started by being the housekeeper.
Mm-hmm.
And as we are talking now, you are the assistant director of nursing.
Mm-hmm.
I know this is sensitive, but I want to ask, how many Black people or Black nurses were there at that time? How many were in leadership?
All right. So when I started working in that building as an LNA, I was the only Black permanent staff in that building at that time.
The only
Black staff member. Yes.
In the building.
Yes.
Lord help us.
Yeah, there were agency nurses, LNAs back and forth, but permanent, I was the only one. Yes.
Wow. And you became the assistant director of nursing.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. All right, we'll go for a short break. The story even gets better. And I want you to just hold on, get somebody to listen. If you're at a place where you have to start all over again, maybe you are losing a hope. Maybe the going is getting tough. Come for some inspiration, come for hope. There is somebody who's been through it and she's telling her story. We will see you soon. Don't go away. It's been an amazing experience. We're hearing wonderful things from Florence Timming, all the way from Dufftown, New Hampshire. And she's telling her story, how she started from nothing and where she was. As the time we're living, she had become the ADS, Assistant Director of the Nursing Services. And so We want to continue that story. We just want to know what happened next. Being the only black full-time employee in the facility. Now, I want you to give us some statistics. How many nurses are in that facility?
Oh, all right. So in my department, between nurses and LNAs, it's about 140. I mean, like full-time, part-time, nurse, and per diems, yes.
140 nurses.
And
you were the
LNAs.
only permanent black.
Yeah,
employee.
LNAs, and yes.
Wow. All right. So now continue your story. So you said you became the assistant director of nursing. So what happened from there? How was it interesting? Were there any challenges? Because if everybody is white, and we understand that sometimes there is systemic racism, did you face anything like that? Did you face opposition because you were black? We want to know.
Okay, so yeah, and there were a few challenges here and there, but one thing that I always say, it's sometimes the situation depends on yourself. How you yourself present yourself sometimes. One, the environment that you are in is very foreign to you. You might find some people that like you, and or some people that don't like you. But it is like that in every situation, I should say. It is like that in every situation. But it all depends, as I said, it all depends as to how you present yourself. If you put in your head that because of your color, no one likes you, that is how you are going to be treated. But if you present it like, this is a situation that I have to make good use of, this is a situation that I'm not going to be negative about, you will come out successfully. So I did not see my color as a hindrance in any way, or a problem. I did not. One thing that I always tell people is that sometimes in my position, I find it difficult to say this, but I have to say it. Those of my color are sometimes the ones that I have difficulty working with, not those who are white. Because when they, yes, because when they see, some of them, not everyone, when they see you in that position, they want you to
do them favors.
Yes. But in my position, you have to be very fair. It should not be a matter of color. It should not be a matter of race, age, nothing. You have to be fair. So I do have a lot. Right now we have a lot of Black people in the building, a lot. And if I say a lot, a lot.
Is it because of your influence?
Partly, yes.
Okay. So after the assistant director, what happened next?
So when I became the assistant director, then I acted. As soon as I became the assistant director, not even 3 months when I became the assistant director, the director stepped down. So then I said to myself, what am I going to do at this moment? I have no training. I have no idea how to handle this position. So they hired a DNS. She came there for about a year or a year and a half, and she also left. And then another one came. When she came, we have some program in my my company called AIT. DNIT, Director of Nurses in Training. The company took me to another place to train for that position because they said it looks like I could be
potential
a good
director.
Thank you.
Now,
So they took me over.
You kept saying that they come and they leave. Is the job that difficult? Is it a hot seat? Why would people come within a year and they run away? Within a year they are gone. What's happening?
Pastor, the job is one of the most stressful jobs that you can ever find.
Okay.
But yes, it is. It is very stressful. So, I mean, I have to admit it. So I went for the training, and as I was there, the DNS that was there called me and said, "Can we go have some coffee?" And I did. I went over, had coffee with her, and she said, "Florence, I've stepped down. I cannot do the job anymore. You need to go back and take the building. You can handle the building." And I said, "Why are you saying that?" I said, "I worked with you for a short period, and you are the one that can handle the building." So I said, "This is huge." So I was still in training, and then I had to apply for the position like everyone else. I went into the interview with directors that had very good experience. I had no experience, and I was accepted into that position. So
what year were you accepted as the director of nursing services?
Well, as you say, I'm in my 10th year now.
10 years.
Yeah.
So you didn't do the 1 year and run away. You've been there for 10 years.
Yeah, almost 10 years. Yeah, February. Yeah, was 9. So I'm in my 10. It's about 9.5 or so years now. Yeah.
Right. So you started as a house cleaner. You became a CNA. You became an LPN. You became an RN. You did your bachelor's. You became the assistant director of nursing. And now you are the director of nursing services. How long has it taken you to become what you are now?
Well, I mean, being in the United States, I mean, for all these years, for 24 years, that was the only place that I have worked. So that's so all these years, and then that's where I have worked.
All these years, you worked at one place for all these years. That is interesting. I think they should write your book, your name in the annals of the company. You have shares in that company?
No, I don't.
That's very interesting.
You know,
wow.
No, I don't.
So now you are the boss of the place. Now think about it. You said there are a lot of Black nurses that are in there now. What would be the percentage of Black versus the other race, the other color?
Okay. I'm not sure of the percentage, but we have quite a few. And I want to just mention something, Pastor. So whenever I see foreigners or minorities coming into that place, one thing that I try to do is to direct them into nursing if they have the interest. So many of them, when they come like I did, you don't know what to do. Where do I start? I was this over there. I came here. Where do I start? So sometimes they start from the dietary department, and I'll call them. I'll call them into my office. I talk to them. I'm like, "Do you want to be an LNA? Yes. Do you want to going to nursing? Yes. And then I work with the scheduler. So then we work around your school schedule. So I have so many nurses in the building who are either LNAs or dietary aides that are not nurses. When they go for the LPN, then I'll call them. I'm like, you need to continue. So right now, I think I have 4 that are going for their RN. They were LPNs. So I'll call them as soon as they come. Like, no, I'll help with your schedule. No, so long as you can go to school. So I have so many LNAs that are nurses right now. Or I will put you into the MedTech program so that you can at least pass meds. And then when you become a MedTech, then you see the interest. Like sometimes they'll be like, oh, now I can pass meds. Then I think I can go into nursing. So I do. I help. I don't know how to put it, but
Right. Well, but I'm so proud of you. I've been to your facility and I see how organized the place is. Looking after 140 nurses is no easy feat. So I think I'll say a good job done.
yeah. It's also Pastor, let me correct. Like, I mean, they it's not only nurses, like the LNAs, the house, those I take. I mean, like I oversee all of them.
Okay, those you have oversight over.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's a huge number of people that you are looking after. But I'm so impressed about that, and I can see also the need for Black women to rise up to such levels in our society. We have a few Black men and we are pushing, the rest of us are pushing, but it seems the Black women were pushed down for a long time. They were not even allowed to vote, but now they are rising up. Culturally, why would you say it's significant for others to rise up to this position? How beneficial would that be? Because sometimes even culture by itself may help somebody to climb, or may make somebody be declined from a position. How well do you say this helps? Being a woman of culture, a Black woman, of course, a proud Black woman.
It is an encouragement to so many people. Whenever they come into my facility, they see me, they'll be like, oh my goodness, Florence, you are, what should I say?
A role model?
Something like that, you know? So it's like, this is doable then, because we are struggling. But if you have been able to reach this level, then we are not discouraged. So then I'll talk with them and then I'll tell them, I mean, like what they have to do, whatever career path they want to, and then I will advise them. So it is very helpful. Whoever comes into my office, I sit that person down and I ask if they want to go to school. And most of them want to go to school. So then I talk to them and we start from there.
Well, we're going to go for our final break and we'll come back and we'll see how we will take this. But your story is an inspiration from out of nowhere or somewhere. God has raised you to where you are as the director of nursing services for this huge facility. So stay tuned. Don't go away. It's going to get more exciting. See you soon. Wow, 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 wow. We are back. And the story gets better. But I told you that I'm going to talk with two wonderful women. The first one is Florence Timming. But we have another one here. And her name is Beauty De La Rosa. Another beautiful young lady. So welcome, Beauty, to the stage.
Oh, I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Right. Beauty, how long have you been in Canada?
I've been in Canada 10 years now.
10 years.
Yeah, 2009, November.
2009 November.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you came, tell us about who you were when you came to Canada. How was your situation?
I came to Canada as a refugee claimant, and I had a 2-year-old, and I was pregnant 7 months with my son.
Oh, well, you were pregnant,
Yeah.
had a 2-year-old, and a refugee.
Yeah, I know.
How did you survive? Was it easy?
No.
Tell us a little bit about.
Oh, that would be, it would be a full story, but it was not easy at all. But I think the future was something that just kept me going. I have an idea where and who I want to be. So I had to take in and dig deeper within myself. But it was not easy at all because I didn't have a family, no friends, no, so just me and my boss.
So you didn't know anybody?
No, I started from the shelter. So from the Pilsen airport, I go
To a
the
shelter
the-
with 2 children.
with yeah.
I hope it was summer.
No, it was winter. It was my first winter.
Oh, my word.
And I
In
couldn't
winter.
eat African food until like June, no, May, which was
The way you are stressing African food, is it that you enjoyed their food so much that you remember that you didn't eat African food?
yes, because I
June.
was pregnant and I was craving African food.
Okay. Okay, because sometimes when you're pregnant, you can crave for other things.
Yes, and you know when you leave your country, the odd what you know is your food, so you don't know whatever. You don't even know what you.
Exactly. You've not eaten that type of food
No.
before, but pregnancy has a way of making you crave things
Even
you don't
more.
have.
Yes.
So what are some of the food you are craving for?
One thing I actually really was craving when I was in the shelter was just because it was cold, so I needed like soup.
Okay.
Yeah, the chicken pepper soup.
Pepper soup, that was
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, I wanted pepper soup and white rice, and
that's it.
yeah, but
And they can't do that for you. And how did that make you feel? Did it make you
feel-
make home?
it made me feel like I was not important.
Wow.
Yeah,
This is very interesting.
so it made me feel like I didn't have a voice, like I
Like
was
a
nobody.
nobody.
I was nobody.
Wow.
Yeah. And then when I was there, even when I get maybe because they give you this between time you can eat between 4 and 5 in the shelter. So if you come later, you miss the food. So you
With
go
2
to bed.
children,
You go to bed hungry.
one in the stomach, one outside,
Yeah.
and it's cold.
Yeah.
How did you brace the cold weather? Did you have all your clothing? Did you know the weather before you came?
I came with 25 cents.
You came 25 cents. So then how did you get a winter coat?
Thrift. Salvation Army.
Oh, wow. It's been a help. Salvation. Some of you understand Salvation Army, anyway, because Salvation Army also helped us.
Yeah, they help with the clothing. Like you probably like $1. Like you can buy used clothes for really like less.
Second to nothing.
Yeah.
All right. So after that, what happened to you?
So from there, I rented the basement, and in the basement, I was with the owners where they said I couldn't cook African food.
They said you can't cook African food.
Yeah. So
Why?
They were vegetarians.
You're vegetarian,
So I
so
couldn't cook meat and everything, even when I had the baby. So but I went through a lot of things. It's not something, but it's okay. I just knew all those challenges prepared me for who I want to be and where I want to be.
so you didn't come here with $1 million.
No.
You came from scratch, like all of us came,
Yeah, mine was minus crash.
minus. All right. Okay. That's amazing. And, and so tell us, so how did life begin? How did you begin?
I would say my help. I would say God has always kind of like
Helped you.
comfort. Yeah,
Florence just spoke about God being her help,
yeah.
and you are saying the same thing. How explain that, because there'll be a viewer who doesn't understand. How does God help?
So he's like the invisible friend
Okay.
that knows how to make you. So, for example, you just came from the.
I know you are crying. It's okay to cry. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Because sometimes we remember our past
Yeah.
and the pain. But also, after that, we can look back and say, God is good.
It's extremely good.
Yeah. Because, as you said, maybe that's the only friend you have. You didn't have no family, no friends. You didn't know anybody. And you are coming here, you are being restricted. You are pregnant, you are craving for your food. They say you cannot even cook your own food. And then he is the only help. So how did you find a job?
I had to create mine.
You have to create your own job and do it.
Yeah, because I was not qualified for any. So they said my child care was not, also with him, they used, like it was all over the place, like it was not secure. I didn't have a good child care. So
Okay.
I was not qualified for any job.
Wow.
I didn't have a car, no reference.
No job, no reference, no car, nothing. Like you don't qualify for anything, and it's still you have to survive.
That's why I'm going to be the best refugee Canada has ever had.
I like that.
The
You will
best.
be the best refugee Canada has ever had.
I'll be in their books.
I like that. I like that. So what job did you create for yourself?
So I went from the shelter after when I was renting, where I was renting. So I had to move because I was like, I can't cook. I had the C-section with the baby. So the only thing I could eat was milk, cheese, white rice. So, and in milk, I said, you know, I better go to another shelter. But at this time, I wanted to a shelter that I can stay longer. So I did work, and I went to downtown shelter. From that shelter was when I told them that I want to do real estate, and they thought I was crazy.
So from the shelter, you said you want to do real estate. How did you know about real estate? Because me, when I was coming from my village, I didn't know anything called real estate.
My invisible friend.
God told you. All right. That's amazing. Okay, so how did you start entering into real estate?
By going to people's house and cleaning their house, cooking for them, looking after their kids.
From scratch. So you clean people's houses, you cook for people, you looked after their children, but in your mind, you wanted to do real estate. You were not afraid to get your hands dirty.
Absolutely not. Because
Wow.
I know who I am. I know where I was going. So no matter what obstacles I needed to do, or no matter what obstacles comes my way to get to my destination, it's just part of the books.
Wow.
It's part of what I have to.
Is this part of the attitude, the winning attitude, not to be afraid of, working anywhere?
If you have to let fear hold you, then we might not even leave Africa. Because when we're leaving Africa, we board on a plane that somebody was flying. So if
And we didn't even know who was flying.
we don't know who was flying it, and you're on a plane where you don't have no control.
And they brought you.
And I've come here. So
So everybody who flew from another country here has faith.
100%. They have to have faith.
Right. So then after cleaning those houses and looking after their kids, then what happened?
And I was failing. I'm not that book smart. So, and not only, but because of the father, I was only by myself with the kids. So look after the kids, run to the class. So my day was like this: 8:45, I'll drop the two, he was around 3. I'll drop him in the daycare, take the little one, take him to the classroom with me. By the time I get there with the bus, it's probably 11. I have to run back again, leave around 1 or 2 to go pick up the other one while in the shelter. So, and then come home, you have to attend to them and you have an exam. So I just kept failing and failing, but I didn't stop. I just kept repeating.
Amen.
Course, I probably did it like 6 times. And then I repeat. So every people would take like 6 months to do it. I did more than 2 years.
So your point is that even if you are failing, keep doing it. Is that what you are?
I have it in my head. I knew I was going to be a good realtor. I've already seen myself where I want to be. And whatever was giving me the headache, just a minor headache.
My goodness. I remember the first time that, you approached me to buy the building for us. She told me, says, Pastor, this is my first time. But there is something about her that made me believe so much that if I give this to her, she'll do it. And this is where we are sitting. I don't know how she did it, because we also didn't have money. And she didn't have experience, but she bought it.
No.
And so after you passed your exam, what next?
It took me another almost more than 18 months. No, more than 18 months, 2 years almost for me to be able to rent, even do rental or sell, because nobody would refer me, nobody believed in me. And so it was really hard. Wow. But I didn't give up.
Wow. So you kept going, although you were seeing rejection and the rest, you kept on. No second chance to give a first impression kind of a thing. Wow.
So it's my one shot. And I don't have too many options, because too many options gets you distracted.
Wow.
So it's one option and that's it. So I work with what I have. So if you tell me this is what I need to use to get to where I'm going to go, that's what I'm going to use. I'm not going to come back and ask you for other things. I work with that.
So have you been able to rent a house now?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that place, I'll leave it. Right. So, but quite recently, I heard you had an award in real estate.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah, I kind of happened to be like the top.
You became the top realtor.
Yeah.
From nothing.
Yeah.
To the top realtor.
Yeah.
Wow. That means you sold more homes.
Oh, yeah. Quality homes.
Quality.
Whatever I touch just turns gold. If they can't sell it in the office, they're like, give it to Beauty. Beauty will sell it, and she sells everything.
Wow. So they brought everything that they cannot sell. If somebody is watching you right now, they have a house they want to sell. Can you sell for them?
Oh, yeah. Even while I sleep, I can sell your house.
Wow. My goodness. She's the one who got me my first house. And my goodness, that was amazing. The story is unending. She's the one who got me my second house. Because all that I do is that I go and sleep and say, Beauty, do your thing. And she did her thing. People, now my secret is out. How's he able to buy? It's Beauty. If you have any house you want to buy or sell, I can strongly recommend her. I would have taken a break, but time is not on our side, so let's jump in.
Okay.
We see all around on Instagram, on Facebook, everywhere. Niger Jollof, Niger Jollof, Niger. So Niger Jollof and Ghana Jollof, which one is the best? You heard production team shouting what?
I know, I heard them. I didn't say anything. I would say both jollofs are good. It just depends on how you're feeling.
Okay.
So some days you feel Ghana, some days you feel Niger. So, but they both the same family.
Awesome. What is good answer? Are you a politician as well? All right. So what is Niger Jollof? Tell us about Niger Jollof.
So Niger jollof is the African food. I'll say African food brand that will be showcasing African food all over the world. So it's gonna be our McDonald's, African McDonald's, but it's Niger jollof, African food. So people that love African food, that wants to know what African, will try any of our Niger jollof location. And Niger jollof is a way of letting non-Africans know that we African, this is what we eat, it's our tradition, it's the same food as
And
what
it's
you
healthy?
eat. It's very healthy. It fills you. It's well cooked. It's like it's homemade food. It's the food that you eat, and it's we're gonna be using Niger jollof as a way of like a cultural voice, whereby you know
You
like,
know Africa by knowing Niger Jollof.
yes, you like, okay, you know, I want to eat African food. You go to Niger jollof. It's not just one country. It's all over African. Like all African food will be sold in Niger jollof.
Wow. So who owns Niger Jollof? It's you. That refugee owns Niger Jollof.
Guess I miss so much food at the shelter. I want to make sure I distribute a lot of.
Yeah, quite recently you went to give to the shelter,
Yeah, I do that. Yeah.
the same shelter you came from,
Yeah.
so that somebody can eat African food.
Yeah, and they were so,
They were happy.
and not only Africans, but also a lot of people came and they were like, "This is my first time in like 4 or 5 years that I've been coming here. That I'm taking twice. Like they come for the second food,
Wow.
and then they're like, "Can I have for tomorrow? Can it be microwave?"
Wow.
So yeah.
That's amazing.
I do shelters, we do hospitals, we do, when there was COVID, we were doing a lot of like for essential workers, because I believe in giving. The brand is like giving. That's what we stand for. Like today, we just went out with the workers, past, current, and future workers of Niger Jollof, and we went for a retreat at the zoo.
Wow. You went for a retreat.
Yeah.
So you have workers. How many locations?
To God be the glory. We have 3 locations. right
3
now.
locations. My goodness. And I hear you own all the locations.
Yeah, we'll buy the.
You are not
vision.
renting it.
Yeah, thanks to God, he doesn't. He's a landlord. My God owns, so why will I rent him? You know what I mean?
Wow. This is amazing. Niger Jollof is coming your way wherever you are.
Wherever you are, we are gonna get there. As long as there are more than 100 African people, we're gonna be close to you. The goal is to have it within 17 to 20 minutes drive from wherever there's an African people. 70 to 20 minutes drive, and we have several sectors. So we have the fine dining, the takeout, the one in the mall, or the couple other ones.
Wow. This is a wow. And it all was birthed through you. And was it difficult to get to where you are?
Daddy, if it was difficult, difficult is understatement.
So there is nothing easy.
Absolutely, there's nothing, like nothing.
So if somebody is struggling through something, what advice will you give to them?
To believe in themselves, to know your priorities, like know what, for example, or just have a book. priorities. That takes you to your goal. Not like, oh, I'll just say like, I'm going to lose weight. I want to lose weight because that's the
I
common
do
one.
need to lose weight. So what do I do?
They will say, when the year comes, every January, it's like, okay, this year I'm going to lose weight. If you know you want to lose weight, 10 kg, don't wait till November to start working on it.
I said that in January. Niger Jollof is making me big. What do I do?
You just have to eat. I know it tastes so good, so you just keep eating.
I should keep eating. Hey, that's a good advice for me, though.
So it's goals.
Right.
You set up goals. You're struggling. Note that it has to be something in line with what you want to be. Be you. Don't copy anybody. Don't imitate anybody. Be you. You means you original. Don't try to, oh, this person did this, because I believe that when God creates individual people, He created everybody individually with different talent. Everybody, God doesn't create garbage. So nobody came
Amen.
and they're like, oh, I don't have no skills. I don't have nothing to do. Trust me, you have so much to do. You just have to know what you're good at and work on what you're good at. Everybody have weak points. Leave the weak points. God will not judge you by your weak point. Just work on your strengths. And it depends on how you work. That's how He's going to keep adding more to you. And if you have 4 talents, you're comparing yourself with somebody that has 1 talent, because that one is maximizing his 1 talent. But you have 4 talents and you're using just 1, and you think that 1 is okay when you could have maximized the 4 talents you have. But because you're comparing yourself with someone else, you're not able to, have that potential grow, because it's your growth that brings out the other potentials that you have. Just like, if no matter how much I love my son, I will not give him my Range Rover key and say drive, or even I won't give him even the Hyundai and say drive, because
Hey, you drive a Range Rover too?
no.
Okay.
Daddy, did I
All
say
right,
that
let's
loud?
continue.
No,
I thought you were in the shelter.
no matter how I love my son, I won't give him a car key to drive.
A car key.
Yeah, I won't give him, because he has not grown yet. And even if he has a driving license and he can drive, until he shows me that he's responsible enough to take the car key and come back nicely without no harm and hurt and everything, that doesn't come from me. That has to be from him. He has to be the one to put in the work and show me that he's responsible enough for me to hand over him that responsibility of driving. So you just have to be the one to know what you're working on, what you want to be. If you want to go to Toronto and you're walking all the way towards going to Sherborne, the other side, you're not going to get to Toronto.
Yeah.
Have a map, have something that guide you, not going all over the place.
Wow. That's deep. You were saying that we have to work on our strength. You said you were not good at book. So that means you finish university, and because you've done all these things.
Yeah, I just work on my strength. Yes, I finished university. No, I didn't finish university.
So if I don't have the strength with books, I've tried, it's not working, I can still succeed.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, of course. In my company, I know for sure I'm going to be hiring a lot of graduates to do things that probably I would not be able to do, because my mind is wired differently. So I will not be able. So they do that. They were graduate. They deal with that. Everybody. I just deal with the one where I have my strength, is creating business.
That's it. So if you didn't go to university, what's your level of education then?
A diploma.
Okay. So after that, do you want to create more businesses, or you want to go back to school?
I encourage people to go to school if that's where their strength is. But for me, I'm somebody that I'm practical. Like, teach me what to do, tell me the numbers, crunch the numbers, and Yeah, I'm not.
And
I-
you will make money.
I'm more of like somebody that creates. I have like a long-term vision.
Okay.
So
You're very creative.
yes, yes.
I hear a rumor that you're a millionaire. Is it true? Okay, you will not answer. You plead the fifth. Okay, that's all right. Well, if you plead the fifth, then I'll spare you with that. But
My goal is to show up, and my goal is to show up and don't have to introduce myself.
wow. Okay. If you have to advise a young person who wants to start business, what would you say?
They should work on what they think that they can do. What is their hobby? What's something that will wake you at 2 a.m. and you don't have to complain? And I'll tell the young people to stop complaining. They complain a lot. They whine a lot. Like,
Yeah.
complain.
You tell them to stop complaining. Why should they stop complaining?
They should just stop complaining about everything. Like, you complain a lot. They have freebies all around, and they just complain and complain. Some of the young people, you have to take them back to Nigeria, take their cell phone, take everything away from them, have them stay there for like 2 years, and they come back, and I'm sure their senses will come back.
I see.
They complain a lot.
There is a question here, and both of you answer, but Florence first and then Beauty. What advice would you have for someone who is about to give up on God because it hasn't happened for them yet in their career or advice? Florence, you first, after that Beauty.
All right. My advice to that person is that with God, nothing is impossible. Everything is possible with God. Everything. So long as you take that leap of faith and you set your mind on to do it, and then it comes with hard work. You cannot be lazy and succeed. I've never seen a lazy person who has succeeded. It comes with hard work. You put your trust in God and you put in the work.
All right. So, Beauty, how do you advise somebody who wants to give up on God because it's not happening yet?
I would say they should check if whatever they are doing is in line with what God wants them to be, and we are the one. So if it's in line and it hasn't happened yet, because they're probably not ready to receive what God wants to give to them. So they have to now be the one to work on them. God is always ready. Like, he's overloaded. Like, you just have to be ready. It's we that are not ready. So it depends on how can you give up on him when he's not giving up on you? Like, he's literally waiting on you to get ready so he gives it to you.
So it could be that, as you said, your son is not ready for your car key.
Yeah.
So you won't give it.
No.
So we got to work on ourselves.
Most of the time, yes.
What if I think
That you're
I'm ready? You know, some of my children think they can drive my car.
that shows that they are not ready for you, because for somebody to think that they are ready. Yeah, they are not ready. That's they're still drinking baby milk. They need to start eating solid for them to be ready.
So when it comes to preparation, it's very important.
Extremely important. Even when sometimes it feels like nothing is going on, but you are actually working on yourself. Like, remember, 9 months, a woman impregnates a child for 9 months. So, and for the first 4 months, nobody sees anything, but she's like she knows, and she's really feeling it, and she's not feeling fine. But because they are not seeing it, doesn't mean like she's not carrying something. So when the time gets, you just have to walk to the 9 months and have the baby. If she's impatient, she can't deal with what comes with having a baby. She will abort the child, and that's a dream.
So it could be that when you give up, you are aborting a dream.
Yes. And a lot of other people that those dreams would have helped, you just also cut them short of that.
Now, the second question will go to you, Beauty, and then Florence, you also have to answer. Is there a time that it was so difficult that you felt like giving up?
Oh, yes, there was, but not giving up, no. But it was very difficult. And I just like,
Exhale.
late, nail me, do whatever, but I'm not going to give up. I need this thing. So I guess I have to, I think everything is about working on yourself though. Like you have to be the one to do the work. No, don't be lazy and expect manna to fall from heaven. It's absolutely not going to happen.
Manna is not falling from heaven.
No.
You got to work.
Oh, yes. In fact, the child you love the most is the one you discipline the most. The one that has where they are going, they have a great future. That's the one you trim and you know what I mean?
When I was a child, I heard the story of somebody waking up in the morning, had groceries at their door and some money. So all my prayer was simple. I was praying that when I wake up one day, there'll be money, piles of $100 bills at my door. I've prayed and prayed, and the dollar bill did not come. See, the thing is hard work.
No shortcut to a place worth going.
No shortcuts.
Absolutely no shortcut.
Okay, Florence, tell us. Was there a time that was so difficult you felt like giving up?
Well, there were times that it was hard, very difficult. But when you give up, you are failed. That is my motto in life. The situation will be tough. When you fall, you get up, and then you move on. The moment you just throw in the towel, that's when you have failed.
Well,
so I kept pressing on.
Yeah, I hear that falling down is not a disgrace, but lying down is
Yes.
not a disgrace. Right, this question goes to you, Beauty. It says, what's the difficult side of being a business owner that people won't know until they start?
What's the difficult side?
Yeah, what's the difficulty that people will never know until they start? And they're like,
You are literally everything. Driver, you're the A to Z. For the next 2 years, the first 2 years, you have to do everything and accept a lot of critics. Just accept a lot of critics and know how to just
hold it in.
like learn how to. If you're somebody that usually would just throw it, now if you used to throw 10, now you're allowed to throw 1 or 2, because if not, they go to your Google page and they go write all manners of things.
Wow.
So you have to, yeah, that's it. That's a lot.
Wow. So with the criticisms they give you, you just have to take it.
Mhm.
And that means
And improve on it.
and improve on it. That also means that they are going to make you a better person then.
Oh, absolutely.
Mhm.
As they are criticizing you,
I'm
you're
working
getting
on it.
better.
Mhm.
And it enlarges you, it stretches you as well. Being a business person, it stretches you a lot. And it makes you know who is with you and who is not with you. Because you're on your own when you lose, or you are together when you win.
Mhm.
Wow. Now, you're saying that when you start this business, you are A to Z. You are the driver, you are the teacher, you are the this, you are that. How do you divide yourselves? Let's say you started Niger Jollof. How do you divide yourself?
That's why not everybody is there.
I like the answer. That's why not everybody is there, because you need to stretch yourself.
The chewing gum stretches.
Wow.
That chewing gum becomes a rope.
So that chewing gum will eventually become a rope.
Much it stretches you.
Are you a philosopher as well?
No.
Because you're telling us a lot of philosophy today. But this is interesting. It's an amazing just hearing where both of you started from. She started from the bottom side, and she is now the director of nursing services in a facility where she's looking after over 100 people. And you also started from scratch, and you own Niger Jollof, and also a real estate mogul.
Yeah.
Okay, a mogul by right, because whatever you touch sells. I like that. Well, we are still taking your questions. We have just a couple of minutes to go. It's been amazing. I hope you have been inspired by this powerful women who are rising up on this career ladder. And I think only heaven is the limit. And the way they are going now, I hope that it will build hope in you. You will sit down and say, my case sounds like this. Because it's not where you started from. When we began, I read the story of Esther from exile, became a refugee somewhere in a foreign land, under oppression, became a queen. It's not just a Bible story, it's a reality. And your story could be that same story. It could be you next time that I'm interviewing, and you blessing somebody with your story. Make sure you share this on Facebook. Let somebody hear this, because somebody needs to hear, don't give up. Now, I want to hear your final word. We'll start with Florence, and then we'll come to Beauty. Final word.
All right. What I would advise all friends or anyone who is migrating to a place like Canada or US, it is not easy, but persevere. Don't lose hope. Rely on God. That is the biggest. I mean, keep your faith. Just keep pressing and pushing. With Him, all things are possible. And one big thing is, don't be lazy. If you are lazy, it's hard to succeed. So don't look around. Just keep pressing. Hard work pays, and keep your eyes on God.
Awesome. People are asking, like, give us your location and address for Niger Jollof. So where's the location? I hear you say it's in a mall somewhere. What's the address?
7215 Galway Drive is in Mountain. That location is actually a strategic location because that was the first mall I came in when I came to Canada. That's where I get my first doing with my business.
That's the first mall you entered,
Yeah, when I came to
and
Canada.
now you own there
Yeah,
and doing business in there.
yeah. So it's in Westwood, it's in Mountain.
Malton,
So which is Derry and Airport Road.
Derry and Airport Road. Wow. I think
And the other locations is Shipway Garden area, Dixie and Queensway. That's luxury fine dining. And the
when you say luxury fine dining, what do you mean?
I mean professional,
Like say,
African fine dining.
like professional African fine dining. So it's for the Oga people or what? I want to understand.
It's for Baba them.
Baba. Oh, okay. So let's say if I'm Baba and I want to bring my people. Okay, let's say the president of Nigeria visits.
Yes. Any celebrity. Any celebrity.
It was better I asked you because I was coming there tomorrow.
Any, right? And you just want to make a
So it's exclusive. So you have to book before you come in.
Yes, it's advisable you do because you might not find a space. You wouldn't be able to.
I see.
It's a luxury. And you come out, you'll be like, wow.
It's just for luxury.
Yeah. So when you go in the first time, you'll be like, are you sure this African food that we're gonna be eating? Because when you see all the, people hosting you with the outfits and the elegance, the beauty, and then when you now start eating the food, you'll be living a healthy tip.
Wow. I'm going to see my bank manager tomorrow morning.
And then we have the Waterloo location.
Is it also fine dining?
That's for a takeout. It's students. So
Oh, okay.
it has several sectors. We have different
You cater to different types.
criteria, yeah,
Oh, I see.
category. That's what.
I see. Wow. And if somebody wants to sell their house, what is the number that they should call?
You can message me
Message on
on my phone number, or if they can message me on
The
Nigeria Jollof Toronto, or email. You can also email me, but you can message me on Nigeria Jollof Toronto. It's on Instagram, and I'll respond. I manage that.
All right. So Naja Jollof Toronto, and she will respond. If I don't have Instagram, how do I get to you?
You can. My numbers. I'm a real estate agent, so my number is literally everywhere.
Okay.
Just put my name, Beauty De Rosa. We can message me on Facebook, Instagram.
Everywhere.
Yeah, a website. I have a website as well.
So once I Google your name,
It
you are
shows up.
everywhere.
Yeah.
God punish devil. But it's amazing. I am blessed to hear your story and Florence's story. And anybody in any career path, don't give up.
Absolutely no. And don't be lazy.
Don't be lazy. Keep your focus.
Extremely focused, self-discipline, consistency, and don't listen to whatever critics have to say. Look at what they say, readjust, but don't just be focused. Be very focused and avoid distraction. Have your goals. Don't write goals and you don't override your goals. Like you write something that you know you can accomplish. No, write and you walk towards it every hour.
Wow.
And learn how to write. I know they're so fast with the smartphone and thing, but writing, I'm old school. You have to write.
Write
and
the
walk-
vision.
Write it, see it, mark. I like the check mark. Oh, I've done this. And I write out that once. I check mark, I write this. You have to work with it. And don't be lazy. Don't be lazy. Stop complaining.
But if the person is tired, you say don't be lazy, but they are tired. What do they do?
But they need to get the job done.
So, so
You have to your body can be tired. Don't be tired in your mind. Your head.
so you cannot succeed when you listen too much to your body.
No.
So you're saying, tell us about that.
You can.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when we were kids, mommy always said, you should not listen to your body. And when I grew up, I understood what she was saying. You listen to your body all the time, you're going to be lazy. You have to just sometimes not listen to your body, because you always be like, as Beauty saying, you're tired, you sit down, you sleep, you sit down, and that is becoming lazy one day after the other. I'm not saying you shouldn't rest. That's not what I'm saying at all. But it shouldn't be that the rest being every day you are resting. You have to persevere. You have to work hard. That's the only way you can succeed.
What a story, and what a story we heard from Beauty. What a story we heard from Florence. I know that somebody has been encouraged by what they heard. And I know somebody is going to go tonight and put down their vision and start running. I know because of this, somebody is going to call and say, I have a testimony. After 2 years, after 5 years, they'll say, I got inspired by these great women and my life has changed. Whether being employed or self-employed, we can still rise up, irrespective of our color, irrespective of where we started from. We can succeed in life.
And irrespective of your accent.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes.
Wow.
Exactly.
So once you can give the goods, they will understand what you're saying.
Oh, yes.
Exactly.
They won't have you repeat your words.
I came to Nigeria Jollof the other sometime, and we were talking to a Chinese, and I was amazed because there are a lot of Chinese, Indians, everybody goes to Niger Jollof to eat. And if you've not been to Niger Jollof, you got to make it a point to visit Niger Jollof. Florence, when you come to Canada, we are going to find
I'll
start saving money.
surely be there.
Start saving money. Start talking to your
I am.
tell all my nieces and my nephew, tell them if you all start saving money, we are going to fine dining.
We are going to save money. Yes.
Exactly. But I'm so honored to have both of you. We appreciate you for coming. We love that you gave your time. You said you were on retreat with your workers, and you still make time for us. This is amazing. We cannot say thank you enough. And for those who are watching, thanks for staying. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for your comments. Thanks for your questions. It's been good. We'll be back next week with another series. Stay blessed and don't give up and work hard.